the flame on max. I'ma keep it going till there ain't none left. Going till there ain't none, keep the flame on max. I'ma keep it going till there ain't none left. Going till there ain't none, keep the flame on max. I'ma keep it going till there ain't none left.
This is the Dawghouse Sports Podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Dawghouse Sports Podcast. My name is Adrian. It's my buddy Jacob here. Hope everyone's doing well. It's been
as you can see, it's kind of a sad moment right now.
Yeah, it's a little bit tense. It's been a very difficult, I'd say, disturbing, sad, angry 48 hours. 24 to 48 hours. This is obviously the biggest news, probably one of the biggest sports stories currently. Kyle Beach, former Chicago Blackhawk, comes out after being anonymous for months. I remember we touched this story up. I don't know if you remember when in the spring we talked about when the allegations came out, and we kind of touched it up, and I was like, we should probably talk about this. These are serious allegations, right? And I mean, I don't know where to start. Like, just all the details. I read the legal documents. They were leaked on Twitter on the TSN and other sources, and just I don't know where to start, man. Like, I have so many notes written up here. Like, I'm
still contemplating, and I'm still like thinking about it. Right.
It's terrible. Like, I mean, there's a lot of outrage, obviously, towards the NHL, the Chicago Blackhawks, some of their core players like Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane, even Duncan Keith to an extent. Joel Quenneville, Stan Bowman, Kevin Cheveldayoff. There's a lot of names that were dropped.
I think Mark Bergevin was on the Blackhawks one time, I think.
He was, yes, that is true. He was, but his name has been cleared so far. Personally, I don't know we'll never know if he knew. Well, I think everyone in the organization knew, but again, they just turned a blind eye to it. So, anyways, I want to any of our viewers that maybe are not sure what's going on with this story. Probably heard the headlines.
Our viewers who aren't hockey fans, but
yeah, exactly right. I'll kind of try to explain it in as simple as I can. Basically, Kyle Beach, who was a former, he still plays hockey, but former Chicago Blackhawk, he was sexually assaulted by a video coach, a guy on the coaching staff in the 2010 playoff run. The team they won the Stanley Cup in 2010. He was sexually assaulted by, what's the dickhead's name? Brad
Aldrich, I think.
Yes, that's right. Brad Aldrich. He was assaulted by him, and he brought it to the management, who was Stan Bowman, who's a GM, former GM now, and they pretty much, to put it into the simple terms as possible, they had a meeting about it, and they all agreed that they didn't really care, basically, and swept it under the rug and said, we're in the middle of a Stanley Cup run, we'll deal with this later. Later came, nothing happened, and then that led to Kyle's teammates bullying him and calling him homophobic slurs.
Wow.
For something that, wasn't even to his consent, which is even more disturbing, that they're calling him like gay and stuff and bad thing, like, mean things like, homophobic slurs and mean things like that to something that he didn't even consent to. And it's just, it's very disturbing. A lot of these details, I'm still like,
I'm still processing it.
I know, man. And the fact that the coach Quenneville was like, I don't really care about this. He literally said in the court documents that he's like, we'll deal with this after. We're in the middle of a cup run. So basically they didn't care. They just wanted to win a cup, and they all just swept it under the rug. Stan Bowman refused to file a police report. This Brad Aldrich guy is a predator too. He ended up working with kids. He was coaching hockey or something somewhere else, and he assaulted a teenager. So the fact that they let this guy get away with this at the professional level, and now then he goes and assaults a minor is extremely like
I
just it gets me just so angry. And the NHL dropped the ball on this like usual. The NHL is a damn joke.
Yep.
Personally, I am fed up with defending this league. I'm tired. Like I am fed up trying to say like when all the other controversies with Akeem Aliu and Babcock and like all these coaches and the bullying and the racism and all the other bad things that have come out recently, I'm just I'm trying to stay positive.
This is next level.
Positive, like maybe the league is gonna get better. Things might get better. Like I try not to worry, too much about, one or two things, right? But when it's just continuous, like one after the other, like PR disaster after PR disaster, it's just I've had enough. Like as a fan, I'm just fed up. Like this league has no morals. Their morals are absolute dog shit. Like they do not care about their players. They've made it known that they don't care about the players. They just use and abuse them.
About is basically the money that
all they care about, Jacob, is revenue, making money, and maybe we as fans, the only way that things are gonna change is maybe we stop watching the sport. Maybe we stop buying tickets, stop buying merchandise.
Which is kind of sad because hockey has been our blood for decades and decades.
Hockey is it's the sad thing is hockey is the best sport, but like it's just the NHL is just the worst league. It's the best sport, but it's just the league, like the top league is just run so terribly, and like it just makes me want to throw up. Like it's disgusting how like everything
happening like lower leagues as well.
Oh God, it's probably worse. It's probably worse if it's happening at the professional level, like in the OHL or not even the OHL, probably like the ECHL. God knows what's happened there. There's probably there's already been like like negative like press towards like the other leagues too in hockey. Like there's already just been enough. Like it's just I can't believe like what this is coming to, and the fact that like I was upset about the Akeem Aliu story in 2019. Like I was pretty upset. I was like, that's pretty fucked up to be saying like things like that. But this just kind of tugs at like a little bit more strings because the fact that the Chicago Blackhawks helped cover up a crime, right? And they're criminals for that, and they should be in jail for covering up a sexual assault. And like I was saying, like the teammates were making homophobic slurs, and like that's and apparently Kyle Beach went to a doctor and reported this. And apparently the doctor basically said that it was his fault for the assaults. Like just everything like was just against him.
And now Jonathan Toews, basically from what I'm seeing, he's basically saying he doesn't even care.
Yeah, you're right, Jacob. The kind of the way he said that, like he answered the questions was just like like I didn't really care, like, and he still doesn't, which is pretty messed up. And a lot of people are pissed off at Toews, Kane. And I just
and can I also say for any
go
for any fantasy hockey players, please do us a favor, just drop any Blackhawks players.
I bet you a lot of people. It's just like so bad because like I was saying before we just hopped on here, like how I was a big fan of that 2010 Chicago Blackhawks team. I was watching them the whole playoffs. They had such a great team that year, and I wanted to see them win the cup. Like Montreal went on a deep run that year, but after that I went right for Chicago. And just you would never imagine these things behind the scenes, and I was 13 at the 12, 13 at so 13, sorry. I was 13 at the time, and just like hearing this now after like all these years, it's just I'm so disturbed, right? Because it was such a glorious cup run, one of the best teams in NHL history, and something so horrible like that happens, and I'm telling you, Bettman, like, also, I think, like, denied an appeal or something. I heard like that too. The NA Donald Fair basically swept it under the rug too, did nothing to help Kyle Beach, like, and apparently there was another player that was involved
Yeah, I
too
believe
that
so.
was assaulted, and apparently I saw on Twitter last night that this guy like suffered so much, like was traumatized from it, like he lost a marriage because of it. He, like alcoholism, I think, was one thing. He lost friends. Like, it just completely ruined his life. And the fact that they covered up for a coach over Kyle Beach at the time was a former 11th overall pick in the first round of the '08 draft. One of
What?
yeah, he was a first round pick. And the fact that you defend a coach over one of your best young players in your system, like, that just shows how fucking like pieces of shit you are as an organization. Like, the NHL, I honestly, man, like, I'm really like don't even really want to like watch hockey anymore, man. Like, I do, but I don't, because like,
Yeah.
and I'm telling guy, like, again, I know I've said this earlier, but the only way these things are gonna change, because this is not the end. There's gonna be more shit like this coming out.
Oh, I bet.
Oh,
Right.
for sure. Like, this isn't like just a one off. Like, nah, there's 100%. We're gonna start hearing more and more and more grease that's coming out
So
over the
basically,
years.
and what? Because I usually like watching true crimes, like TV show, right? So basically, if for anybody who loves true crimes, it's basically open up a cold case file.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, I mean, Stan Bowman was brought to his attention, and he refused to go to the police about it, which is what any sane and normal human being would do, right? And do the right thing. It doesn't matter if you're in the middle of a cup run. Like, that's somebody's like life could be, like and the fact that Joel Quenneville like is still coaching hockey games right now,
I am so shocked.
I'm appalled by that.
Like, I'm
suspend him indefinitely until this investigation's done, and then kind of go from there. Another thing too, like I was gonna mention, I have another note here. So multiple players came out and spoke during the legal process, former players of the team and former teammates of Kyle Beach, and said that the whole team knew about it. Nick Boynton, Brent Sopel, and Sean Lalonde. 3 players spoke out and said yes, the whole team knew about it. So when 3 guys say the whole team knew about it, or they're pretty sure the whole team knew about it, the whole fucking no, but like, because they were speaking under, in court, right? So,
yeah.
but that's a thing. And another thing is too why it's hard for, I mean, for a guy that's just starting up like Kyle Beach, it'd be hard to kind of be like, hey, like, that's wrong what you did to me, because he's got a career to fight for, and it's so disgusting how like they can get away with whatever they want because they have more power over him, right? And it's just disgusting. It's a joke, man. It's an absolute joke. This league is a joke. It's been a joke for years. People should have. We all should have started. I think people started to kind of wake up, but not enough. I sure as hell didn't. But we should have started after 3 players took their lives in one summer in 2011, when it was Belak, it was Rippin, and it was Derek Bugard. We should have all been like, why are these guys killing themselves? Like, things like that. Like, this is like the best sport in the world. Why are these guys killing themselves? Like, what are they doing? What's this league doing to get them to that point? And even a former player, Todd Fedoruk, came out last year when the pandemic started. He had like a TSN bit interview, I guess you can say, and he talked about how the NHL does nothing about helping players fighting, substance abuse. He suffered from substance abuse, and they basically let it happen. And then there was other reports of the doctors around the NHL, team doctors that are basically like getting players hooked on opioids. And
God.
yeah, it's just one thing after the other with this fucking league, and they just continue to not do the right thing. They just do the opposite of what they should do. It's unbelievable.
I'm smelling corruption.
It is corrupt, dude. It's terrible. I don't even know, like, how do you, like, I just don't know how these people sleep at night, knowing that they're ruining people's lives. Like, I'm telling you, like, playing in the NHL should be an honor and a privilege. Like, you shouldn't be treated like a piece of meat on the side of the street. You know what I mean? And the fact that they treat these guys with like little to no respect, especially like so many former players. I know Dan Carcillo was on the Habs Tonight Show with Dale Weiss, and
Shout out Dale.
Shout out to him. And I was watching the episode, and when he retired from the sport of hockey, the NHL, they basically, because he had his own substance abuse issues and had his own problems, and they basically told him like, you're not a player in the league anymore. We can't help you. All right, see you later. So, yeah, they basically said we can't help you anymore.
Like a normal sports league, they could have helped people. But
I know. Well, it's a sad reality. That's just how all the sports are like. Even the NFL's terrible for that. They've had numerous scandals.
Deflategate.
No, I mean more like when players retire, like how the league no, not those kind of scandals, but like I just don't know what to say, man. Like I'm just disturbed. I watched the interview last night, on 6:00 on TSN. Great interview. It was very hard to watch, and like another thing too, why this kind of hit me a little bit deeper than it usually does is because like I've met sexual assault survivors, on the internet, in person too, like people I've known in my life, and they've told me their stories, and it just, it just hits different, and like, I just like that. Kyle Beach can now have a platform, and be kind of like an advocate. And I told him that, I messaged him today on his Instagram, and I like that now he can kind of advocate for abuse survivors, and he can kind of start a movement. What's that?
He's still battling with the Blackhawks as well.
Yeah, and they're trying to, like, I remember I saw it in his Instagram story, they're trying to silence him, which isn't surprising because, yeah, they put out some shitty apology on their fucking social media, but, like, they don't want to lose money in the end, right? That's the sad reality of it all. They don't want to lose money.
Yeah, basically, the league just gave him a $2 million fine. Hey, there you go. We can get it back.
I really hope that he gets a big payout by I don't care who it is, the NHL, like the NHL itself, or like the Chicago Blackhawks, or whoever. I don't care. I hope no amount of money can replace like the trauma he's had to experience, though. But like no money can replace that. But I mean, just for him and his girlfriend, just to be more at peace. I mean, it's hard to. I hope he's more at peace with it after kind of expressing his story, and very courageous and brave what he did. It's really hard to, especially being a male sexual assault survivor, sexual abuse survivor. It's hard to come out because, I mean, it's, the way they look at men like getting assaulted is different than women, right? So I'm not trying to cause any bullshit by that statement, but it's true. You can't deny it. It's true. Like, there's different takes, like different approaches to both genders, but I mean, I don't want to get into that, but
if we could get Kyle Beach on here, that it could have spread more awareness as well. Right.
Yeah, geez, he's probably had again millions of people reach out to him, and
It's,
uh,
it's a crime, but hey.
I just don't, I can't imagine. Like again, I can't relate because I've never been in that situation.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
some people that can, and it's just you feel so many things. You probably, if you feel scared, you're like obviously like traumatized.
PTSD.
Yeah, seriously, he's probably been suffering from it for years. And like I just don't know what to say, man. I'm just flabbergasted. Like I'm just tired of this league being so like like just so terrible. And like again, I love hockey as the sport, but the NHL is just an absolute joke. It is the
Yeah.
worst league. I mean, the NFL's had a lot of scandals too, but
FIFA has a lot of scandals as well.
yeah, they're all the sports are terrible in their own way, but this just like because I again hockey's my favorite sport. I love playing it. Like I play it once or twice a week.
I love watching.
I love watching it. Like I love like the way like I
es-
love the sport. Like I just love the it's everything like inside and out. I love
Especially
hockey,
the
but
classic hockey night in Canada, Saturday night. Oh,
yeah, man, it's just it hits different and just I'm just so like disappointed. Disappointed that this league doesn't care about their fans. They don't care about their players. Obviously, this has been a known factor.
yeah.
There was also a email. I think I remember my brother showed me this like years ago, and again, I kind of just didn't really think anything of it. But it was it was after um, the Matt Cook and Mark Savard hit. I don't know if you remember that from back then. Mark Savard
Yeah.
got concussed. Very dangerous, dirty hit by Matt Cook. It was the same kind of weird, but it was the same year that Chicago won the Stanley Cup. It was around that time
God.
in 2010. Yeah, it was that same season. And obviously, Mark Savard being Boston's best player at the time, the team was outraged. Obviously, the Boston Bruins, and I think their GM at the time or the owner or somebody reached out to the Players Association, reached out to the league and said, hey, like, what the fuck is this? Like, why, like, basically, and then I don't know if it was Bettman or Donald Fair or somebody that's like a representative of the NHL and the NHLPA said something like, we do, that we sell rivalries, right? So we're basically saying we don't care about the players' health and safety. We just
Oh,
want to sell rivalries so we can make money.
God.
And this was in 2010. I'm telling you, this league is corrupt as fuck. Like they will literally I'm telling you, the NHL would literally let a player die on the ice, and they would do like they would just not do the right thing, and like they do the opposite of what people would want them to do.
This is
Like
worse than a FIFA corruption scandal. Like,
it's worse because yeah, it's like one thing like the FIFA corruption is one thing, but I keep saying this too, like the fact that everyone in the NHL like NHLPA and Batman, the Blackhawks, like they all covered up a crime. That is absolutely like it's unacceptable.
that's
You covered up a crime. Like I mean, the Akima Liu thing was extremely terrible. Like being called the N word and like all these terrible things.
which we
And
do not condone on this
of
podcast.
course not. No, that's terrible. But I mean, this is, I think, on a whole other level because the fact that the law was kind of, not even kind of like though that fact that the law was at stake, and the law was broken and was swept under the rug.
Like, you
That's
had
what makes me so angry. Like it was like he assaulted somebody without their he touched somebody. Aldrich touched somebody without their consent and got away with it. Went to go coach kids and
God.
assaulted a kid. Like how can the
How does he
Blackhawks
still have a job? Like,
how can you feel okay with this guy even him leaving the Chicago Blackhawks team to go coach these kids? hockey or whatever sport it was. I can't remember. Like, how can you have the conscience to be like, oh yeah, this guy is fit enough to coach kids when he
And
just
they even
assaulted
the
a grown
Blackhawks
man?
okayed it. Like,
I know. Like, how can you be okay? How can you have the conscience to be like, oh yeah, this guy can coach elsewhere and he'll be okay? He assaulted somebody, but we'll not talk about that. But he can coach kids, no problem. I just can't believe. I mean, I'm telling you, like Cheveldayoff, Quenneville, Stan Bowman, they should be behind bars right now. They should be in jail.
oh,
They should be in jail. I'm sorry. I know that maybe some people don't agree with that. I think most people would, but never mind the NHL taking accountability. Like for it,
life maybe.
you should be in. I don't know about in life. Well, I'm not a judge, so I wouldn't be able to give my opinion on that or say really what's logical for that. But
Right.
I mean, it just
sometimes
angers
bars,
me.
basically.
What's that, buddy?
But sometimes behind bars, basically.
Yeah, well, they should be behind. They should be behind bars. They should be in jail. They helped cover up a crime, which makes them criminals. So they should be behind bars. Absolutely. I don't respect anybody that would do something like that.
And I learned all about this in human resource and risk management class. So
Yes, sir. And you learn about, and I bet you probably learned about. I don't know if maybe if you took like an ethics class in school.
yeah, we did.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
like you take an ethics class and they teach you about these things, like what you should do, what's the ethically, what's the right thing to do. And there's no ethics. I'm telling you, the NHL has zero ethics. I saw this on Twitter today. The NHL stands
zero ethics and zero morals as well.
Yeah. The NHL stands for No Humanity League. I saw that on Twitter today.
Oh wow.
Yep. I'm saying that too. No Humanity League. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Whoever that guy was that tweeted that out, shout out to you. I don't know who you are, but I like the tweet, and it just makes me so mad, dude. It just that someone could get away with this. Like personally, like I've talked to people that were sexually assaulted in the workplace, and the second they told me about it, I told them to go tell, everyone above what happened. And, I didn't say, oh yeah, no, don't worry about it. She told me the story, this person I used to work with years ago.
Yeah, I think that person also told me after they left.
Yeah, that's all we're gonna say about that info. But yes, one of my old jobs, I was informed about it, and yeah, I right away I was like, you gotta take this up and above. Who cares about what happens here? But and you know what? I knew that was the right thing to do. I don't care who it's against, but if you sexually harass or sexually assault someone, you need to be held accountable. So
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the Prime Minister of Canada, you're President of the United States, whatever. You're like this. You're the freaking CEO of a company or the janitor of a company. If you sexually harass somebody,
if you're a school teacher, if you're a football player,
I don't care who you are. You can be anybody, but it's wrong. And NHL dropped the ball on this, just like so many other things they dropped the ball on. Nothing surprises me anymore. Personally, I'm very guys, like I keep saying, you want this stuff to stop. You want to stop hearing these allegations come out. Stop watching the game.
Yeah.
Stop watching hockey. Stop watching the NHL. That's the only way it's gonna change. And even then, it may not change, right? So,
to be honest, I'm hoping for Kyle Beach to drop a lawsuit on them. Right.
Oh well, yeah, they're in court right now, right? So he's probably still settling it with them. I'm just again, I'm at a loss of words. Like it just bothers me so much too. Like again, that's the 2010 Chicago Blackhawks team I really liked. I was a big fan of, right? And now that whole dynasty, that 2010s, 2010, 2013, 2015, those 3 cups they won, the whole that's not their legacy anymore, those years. Like, their legacy is this. This is their legacy.
5
Nobody's
years
going to
from now-
remember.
5 years from now, people won't care about the Stanley Cup. They care basically about this.
Yeah, like our generation, the generations growing up that maybe won't remember this, it's going to be different. But for our generation that lived
If you were
and
born in
witnessed,
2009, then you probably... Yeah.
no, but probably know the players, but
Yeah.
I don't know what to say, man. I'm just very
I'm still trying to process this, so
it's been disturbing, man. Like, I can't.
I'm lost for words. Like,
I've seen people on the internet say like they're gonna take a break from hockey, just watching hockey, because of this, and I don't blame them. Like, even me, like, I'm not really enjoying hockey right now. I'm
yeah.
enjoying being back on the ice and playing it, mind you,
I'm
but watching it,
I'm barely watching any hockey games right now.
I'm not. Like, I'm just not into the games. Like, there's just so much shit that's been going on with this sport. And, like, I'm just not enjoying the games right now. I'm not.
Yes, Vegas pregame rituals are awesome, but
Yeah, I don't care about Vegas. I hate that team.
yeah,
Ever since that last year, the last season.
Of course you do.
Fucking hate
But
that team.
yeah, other than that, I'm barely watching any hockey games. Like,
Yeah, man. I just can't enjoy the games, especially after hearing this. Like I said before, like, what else don't we know about?
Oh god.
What else do we not know about? Like, that's being this could have, maybe not sexual assault, but like other kind of like incidents of like bad things like to this extent could have happened. Could have happened to the Leafs. It could be Montreal. Like, we don't know. Like, it could be anybody's teams now at this point. Like, now it's like anything can happen, and it's just a scary thought because like, this is supposed to be a sport. I mean, geez, like, you're in a sense, yeah, you're in a profession. Like, things shouldn't be run like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Any other profession, they would not. It would not be run like this.
Oh,
it's unacceptable, man. Unacceptable. The NHL, you have to be better. You failed so many people. You gotta take
accountability for this, no matter what. Like,
oh, they're gonna eat shit for this, and I really hope they do. I'm very disappointed as a fan. Like, constantly, like, trying to be an advocate for hockey's like, NHL is a good league, and hockey's for everybody.
Yeah,
but it just doesn't seem like it is, because this stuff comes out. Like, they make it so hard. Like the hockey is for everyone slogan is such like hollow virtue signaling. It's not even real. It's just, like, we don't care, but we're just showing that we care. Like, we're just trying to we're just gonna show everybody that like, we care, but we really don't care. Like, that's basically what the message they're sending. Like, even yesterday, I was watching something. I don't know what it was. I was at my girlfriend's house. We were watching like something. We were watching part of the Leafs game, and then we were watching another show. But we had it on Sportsnet, and just the timing was just so like fucking crazy. Kind of like, it's just laughable. Again, hockey is for everyone commercial, and I just laughed. I was like,
it's not really for everyone.
You're making it seem like it's not. I personally think it is. But the NHL has done a terrible job of like backing up that statement. I think truly the sport is for everybody, but the NHL, the top league, doesn't seem to think it is because of the way they act.
Yeah.
And it's disgusting. Like, I just feel bad for like any like, sexual abuse survivor that had to see that. And it's probably been in the same situations as Kyle Beach, where you're afraid to speak out because someone with more power than you is gonna, silence you or try to ruin your life about it.
Basically bribe you to stay quiet.
Exactly, or something else like messed up, like it's just I don't know, man. It just really it's really hard, like it's really hard being a hockey fan right now. Um I mean, personally, it's been hard the last couple of years since the Babcock thing came out.
Oh,
Keem
I-
Aliu, again, opioid crisis, like just thing constant like negative attention that this league gets, and just I've tried to defend, like I say, maybe things are gonna get better. I always try to be light and positive about everything,
it's,
especially
and
about the end.
also ESPN and Turner are basically got a new deal with the NHL.
Yeah,
So
it was good for hockey, and I was like, this season's gonna be good. Like we got the new TV deals and people are enjoying it. Like ESPN has hockey now. That's great for the game.
Wayne Gretzky is back.
Yeah, and he's doing stuff like that, and just again, every time the NHL tries to like improve their image, they just shoot themselves in the foot. That's my big thing. It just I can't believe it, man.
God, it'll probably take me probably weeks to process
Oh,
this.
yeah, this is gonna take a lot of. There's a lot of people that are just so mentally disturbed from like reading about like what was done and what was said. Just
I got,
again,
yeah, I gotta say,
Kane and
shout out
Tays.
to all the reporters that basically covered this story. Because
Yes,
the more
good
we
for you.
know, the more information comes out, the more we can process this.
Yeah, and just raise awareness, and tell people, this is what happened. This is what's happened in the past. I mean, I don't like to look at the past, but who knows if that's still happening right now? I mean, times are a lot different, like 2010 till now.
Yeah.
Our social standards have changed. Like I saw on Twitter too, somebody pointed this out, and I was like, God, this is just really bad. Um, kind of like, kind of stemming like, the homophobic slurs that Kyle Beach faced. There was like a picture of Kane and Tays celebrating like with the Stanley Cup in their locker room, and it has like writing on the board, right? And it's had like Philadelphia they faced, right? Chris Pronger, a couple other the defensemen they had on the board there, right, writing their D pairings down so they can, I guess, um, you know, match up like the coach for the coaching staff, right? And then it had Chris Pronger, and then somebody wrote next to Pronger put is gay. So
No.
the homophobia and stuff kind of,
Oh my God.
yeah, somebody I can't remember who actually. There was it was an account on Twitter, I think by the name of Mitch Marney, I think. Good of you to kind of bring awareness to that, because that was like caught me really off guard, and I was like, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, man, like this is another thing too, like when your teammate tells you I've been sexually assaulted, telling them and laughing at them and making like inappropriate comments, bullying them is not what a team does.
No.
That does
No.
not exemplify, that does not show leadership. That is not leadership. That is the opposite of leadership.
Especially with a lot of hockey players coming out as gay.
Yeah, there was one guy in the Nashville Predators um,
Organization.
organization. Yes, sorry, I was trying to think. Thanks for that. I was thinking of the word.
Yeah.
That came out in the summer, and that's great. Good. It's good that people be comfortable in that way, and the fact that when as a team, like I have my like I play hockey. I'm on a team, and we're pretty tight, man. Like we can tell each other things, and like we help each other out. Like we joke around, we make jokes, but we at the end of the day we care about each other, right?
Right.
So like like I've had some hard times in the past, and like I had an incident like a few years ago. Like I mean I was falsely accused of rape. You know,
No.
like 2.5 years ago. Yeah, I was. And the week it happened, I went to the rink because I had a hockey game, and I told the boys, and right away, their tone went from joking and laughing to like serious right away. And they're like, "Oh shit! Like, are you good? Like, you know?" And and that's what you want out of, like, that's how your teammates are supposed to react.
Yeah.
You know, like we were joking around about something before, and then right away, just the mood changed, and it was like, oh my god, like that's, you know, they were like, if you need help or anything, you know, we got you, right? And so that's how a team should react to, you know, tragic news
That's
like that.
basically Band of Brothers. Like,
Yeah, exactly. That's how they should act. You know, you're supposed to be, you know, you're supposed to be a family. You know, they kind of like preach this whole like team thing as like, you know, you're family, but that's not leadership. I'm sorry, Taze and Kane.
yeah.
I mean, I want to learn. I want to get more info. I
Yeah.
want to hear more about the court and then the player, and I want to wait till the names get dropped. But so far, it's looking like Kane and Taze are really in the wrong here. And I'm sorry, guys, but
Yeah. Sorry, guys,
you,
for any fantasy users. Please drop Kane and Taves.
just for them, I've lost respect for you. I've seen like so many people talk about it, and the fact that they did nothing, and they were like, again, Kane's assistant captain, Taze is a captain of the team. Like, it's your job. If you know, you're supposed to be in a position of leadership. You know, when you see a new, like a call up like that getting harassed, you got to be the leader and step up and be like, hey, this is not okay. And
You gotta call a team meeting no matter what. Like,
team meeting, or you go to management and be like, hey, this is not right, because you have that kind of power. You know, Kane and Taze, you know, they can go to management and complain and they won't lose their jobs because they're the franchise players. So that's what I mean. They have a little bit more power and authority, I guess, than, you know, like a guy like a Kyle Beach, right? That maybe can't really, was just trying to crack the roster. You know, it was kind of scared to, you know, talk about it. But a guy like Kane or Taze should be, you know, taking responsibility, going up to management, being, hey, you got to do something about this. This is not okay. Like, you know, that's why we have captains and assistant captains. You know,
right.
they're supposed to kind of, that's a leadership
Two
group.
captains. That's why you have three assistant or two assistant captains.
That's right, man. And I'm very just disappointed. Everyone just dropped the ball on this, man. Like, I can't believe, like, they just completely dropped the ball. Like, I'm just appalled. I don't know what else to say, man. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
to Kyle, I hope again, I've reached out to him, but
Hopefully we can have him on the podcast.
yeah,
Hopefully.
yeah, we'll see.
But
I hope
yeah.
you're doing okay. It takes a lot of bravery and courage to really come out and just tell the world this, you know. I mean, after, I know it's years later, but like, at least we know now.
Yeah.
Right?
So what do you think of the Blackhawks? Are they done? Like, done? Like,
yeah.
Should they trade all the players? And like
They're just, aside from this though, I have a theory for why they were playing so bad, why they're still winless. I think, again, because they were waiting for this investigation, like, or like it to really break the news, like what happened the other day, right? Like, they were waiting for this, and I guess, like, you know, it's been a distraction on the team since it came out, for sure, right? I mean,
yeah.
it's, they should rebuild though. Personally, like, like, their team is not good enough. I mean, I think they should start from scratch. I don't know if they're gonna trade guys like Kane and Taze, probably not, but
No, they have too much of a big contract to.
contract, yes, yeah, their contracts are huge. Yes, that is very true. I just think they're gonna, Kane and Taze are probably gonna retire in Chicago, unless, again, there more comes out of this and they were the ones bullying him, then they're fucked. They're gonna be fucking canceled forever, right? But it's I don't know, man. I think they should rebuild though. Personally, they just don't have a good enough team. Keep
Yeah.
Alex DeBrincat, Kirby Dach. Keep those two. Build around them. I mean, Kane and Taze are gonna probably again because they're untouchables. After this, I mean, they're still gonna be untouchables because they're Kane and Taze, right? They're one of
Yeah.
everything they've done for that team, right? So yeah, that team is a mess though. I don't know. Their fans probably feel like shit. I mean, it's not their fault, but I mean, they probably still feel terrible for what happened.
I also believe celebrities that are fans of the Blackhawks gonna feel crap.
Everyone's gonna kind of separate themselves from them for a while until this kind of settles. But for now, this just leaves a horrible taste in everybody's mouth.
Yeah. I'm probably might have to. I'm probably gonna sleep and then process this. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just very again very disturbing things you know what I mean? I would never have imagined
Speaking of sleeping, I don't know how Kyle Beach for all these years been trying to sleep.
Yeah, I know. I hope, like I said, I hope he's more at peace with this now. The fact that he's been able to kind of tell the world and raise awareness about this. And yeah, it's again very, very hard times. Very hard time to be a hockey fan right now. Very sad times for the sport. I don't know, man. I'm at a loss, like I said before, I'm just at a loss of words. As a fan, a very devout, passionate fan,
Yeah.
I just love this game inside out, and this just hurts. This hurts so much, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
You
just
guys see me licking my chops, trying to get the sour taste out of my mouth.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, man. Even today, I was at work and I was thinking about it, and I'm like, holy fuck, man. I can't believe somebody's life can get ruined like this, just by people being inconsiderate and covering up a crime. And
God.
can't do it, man. It's I don't know. Personally, I don't know I don't know how I'm gonna deal with this. As a fan,
I don't know
I
how I'm gonna
want
process.
to I want to stop take a break from hockey. I was even considering taking a break from making hockey content on my YouTube channel because
Yeah,
I
understand.
I think I'm just gonna take a break from that for a bit because it's just God, there's no joy in it.
To be honest, I'm not even watching any sports channels right now.
Honestly, dude, I haven't really been watching much sports. I've watched a little bit of. I've been watching more baseball and football than anything right now. But
I'm basically watching a little bit of pro wrestling and a little bit of baseball.
yeah, no, hockey's not really. Hockey's in a really weird spot. Hockey's kind of dead, if you ask me. I mean,
Yeah.
last year, the playout, the Habs making the finals was great. Don't get
It
me
was a good
wrong.
Cinderella story.
It was, and I was, really into it. And I mean, the season last year sucked, to be honest, until the playoffs started.
Right.
It was just, yeah, the regular season sucked, and that's what I mean by hockey's dead. The playoffs are great, but everything else sucks. I find the season's too long.
Do you think NHL, AHL, and other league, they should do it how FIFA does it, training Champions League?
That's a good question. I mean, the CHL basically does that with the Memorial Cup, right?
But minus the CHL. I'm talking about.
Yeah. I know in Europe, the European hockey leagues, they kind of have their own Champions League, I think.
Yeah, they do.
For hockey, yeah. So for American League,
And
it wouldn't really make sense because there's not really.
I think other hockey leagues, they have to go by promotion relegation as well. So.
Yeah, that would be interesting though. But yeah, I don't know. That'd be interesting if they did like a whole relegation thing. It would make things interesting for sure. You'd be pushing. You'd see like the teams pushing like every little inch. They wouldn't like stop skating. So
Yeah.
yeah,
But
man.
I don't know, man. Like, it's
Yeah.
going to be hard to process.
Yeah, it's a hard time to be a hockey fan, like I've said. Just the constant negativity that the sport like keeps getting, like a negative rap all the time. Like it's hard, man. Being really like in the game and loving it, just it's hard to see that then
Not
the
that,
NHL does nothing to
yeah.
like make it better.
Not only that, the CHL also have their first like female goaltender as well.
Yeah, I saw that. That's gonna be pretty cool.
So
That's what I mean. Like they do things like that, but then things like this story come out and it's like, are they really doing the right thing? Like, you know,
yeah,
that's what I mean. Like they try to grow, like they always say, like we're trying to grow the game, but you're not growing the game at all. You haven't grown the game. It's like it's still the same it was 20 years ago in terms of like the culture and the personality of it. Like there's just nothing's changed. Like these like, you know what I mean?
like you're taking one step forward, but 100 steps back.
Yeah, seriously. That's exactly what it is. It's just, I don't know, man. Anyways, I wanted to cap that off. And again, I hope Kyle Beach and his family, I hope you're doing well and at peace with this. Hopefully, I mean, if not, I totally get it. It may not ever be at peace with it.
Kyle Beach probably still gonna have scars from this.
I mean, it's a traumatizing event, you know, in his life, and that you'll never forget that, you know.
It's gonna come up in his dreams, like
You
no matter
never forget trauma. Whenever any kind of trauma happens in your life, like you just can't drop it. It'll always be you'll always remember it. You know what I mean? So I just hope he tries to find some peace with it.
You want to cap this off by talking about Montreal and Toronto?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna go into next. Again, I haven't really been watching much hockey, but kind of watching the standings, watching the records. But yeah, Toronto and Montreal have been pretty terrible to start the year.
God. I think one difference for Toronto is Zach Hyman.
He's actually been honestly, like I didn't think. Well, I knew that was going to be a bad loss for them regardless, because again, he's one of those guys that gets in the dirty areas, scores goals, and the Leafs are not a really like team like that. You know, he was the only kind of guy that would get in the dirty areas like that and score a lot. Again, the Leafs are, you know, skill and you know, taking shots from the slot kind of team, right? And losing a guy,
So from yesterday's game against Chicago, from what I heard, when Matthews scored, the Chicago fans flipped him off.
Yeah, I know. I saw that, and Matthews was like cheering at him and stuff. It was so funny. I'm like, good. It's good to see hockey players trolling fans back. We normalize that more.
Yeah.
But I mean, personally, like, yeah, Montreal, Toronto, that's a really bad starts. Montreal is worse. Personally, I don't know if people agree with this, but I can see coaching changes coming if this continues.
To be honest, I'm Kyle, like Sheldon Keefe, he was all right in the AHL, but
I don't think he's a bad coach. I just think it's the team. Like,
yeah.
I mean, the unfortunate part is though, like even if it's not the coach's fault, he still has to take the axe, right? He has to get axed over the team. I mean,
and the thing is, Kyle Dubas brought him from the Sault Ste. Marie to Toronto, and then Maple Leafs.
Yeah, I mean,
so that's a long time friendship right there.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the All or Nothing series. Like, I mean, they're not like buddies. Like, that's more business, right? But yeah, they know each other, right? They know each other for a while. So,
the series. I
It
watched
was a good series, man. All or Nothing was really good.
Thing is, I don't think Toronto's gonna go for a second season.
No. They probably
It's
they
too- It's too much of a
alternated.
distraction. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like, the fact that they were still filming them in the playoffs was kind of like puzzling to me because, usually the playoffs you don't want any distractions, right? And
yeah,
I mean,
that's why I wrote them off for a game.
I think honestly that I don't know if people agree with this, but I think that's part of the reason why they lost against Montreal. I think it's because of, again, having fucking cameras in front of your face all the damn time, right? Especially in the playoffs when you have to focus and that kind of stuff, you gotta kind of, phase out.
But at
And
least for the All or Nothing series, we get to listen to how Sheldon keeps like speech.
yeah,
Because I know,
good speaker. I gotta say, he's
because I know
fiery. He gets the
one of
message through.
I know from one of the scenes, he was going at it. Like,
I love the scene where they lost the game, and it was one of the games where Frederick Anderson played bad, and the goalie coach, he's like, they're having a meeting after the game, and like I guess in Dubas's office, and the goalie coach was like, "Oh, that's like the defenseman's fault. It hit off Dermot's leg or something, and Dermot's ass or something." And fucking Sheldon Keefe told him to fuck off. He literally just was like, "Dude, fuck off. Like, get the fuck out of here." It was so funny. I was like, "Yo."
yeah.
It gets
Yeah.
tense, man. I like how authentic it was though. Like they kept it authentic. They kept it real. You can tell like it wasn't all for show.
And here's the thing, from the first scene is a Steve Dangle farm.
Yeah.
First
Yeah, I
scene
seen
you
that
see
too.
is Steve Dangle, no matter what.
Yeah, Steve Dangle. I don't know. He's always kind of annoying, but don't
But
really
hey,
care
he got
about
his
him.
own podcast network.
He does though. I'm not saying he's done well for himself. I respect him in that sense, but I don't know. He's pretty fair. Like he's not like a complete like biased like Leafs homer like the rest of Sportsnet, but he'll actually criticize them.
Yeah. From what I heard, he also streamed a Montreal Canadian game as well.
Yeah, which was hilarious because but I never thought that would ever happen. But yeah, he's trying to get viewership. He needs to make money. I get it. It's a the Leafs are out, so. But yeah, I really do think if it gets any worse, I can see a coaching change for both teams.
Yeah, I think so.
I really think the Leafs shouldn't have signed Tavares 3 years ago. I said this before, as it's killing them now, where they have no cap space to improve the team around him. Right?
God,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that killed him.
Trading Kadri, letting go of Van Riemsdyk.
Thing is, getting the second suspension probably.
Yeah.
Probably was it.
I'm telling you, getting rid of Kadri, letting Van Riemsdyk walk and go back to Philly was like a huge mistake. There was some other guy, I think Komarov too.
For Kadri, I kind of knew he was gone because it was the second suspension. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think that's why they traded him. I think they had enough of his antics, but look at him now. He's in Colorado, and they're utilizing him properly, and he's fantastic.
Hey, he still got suspended in the playoffs anyway. Yeah,
for Colorado last year. I mean, again, he's a great player when he's not being an idiot. That's the thing with Kadri. I like him as a player, but he's an idiot. Like he just goes over the top sometimes. Well, not sometimes. It's every year I find, but I don't know what it is. He just goes over the top. I mean, I like that he plays on the edge. I like that, but it's cost his team too many times. Very selfish play. He plays very selfish sometimes, and that's not good. He plays a lot to heart, but then there's those moments where he's very selfish and he costs his team a series potentially, right? So.
And now look at the Islanders. They're doing well without Tavares.
Yeah, they've gone farther. They've gone to the conference finals 2 years in a row. Without Tavares, they've won a playoff series in the first 3 years that Tavares has been gone. In 2019, they went to the second round, I believe. And then 2020, last year, they went to the third round, lost to Tampa. And the same thing this past season, they lost to Tampa.
And now, from what
Game
I
7.
heard, the Islanders are in the new building.
Yeah, I heard about that too. That's going to be pretty nice too.
It's
Yeah,
right,
the island is going to be good,
right
man.
next to the racetrack.
Yeah, dude, their arena is really nice. Apparently, it's gonna be sick. Like, they're gonna have like a bar in there. Like, it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be fucking sick.
Dude,
I mean,
right next to the
yeah.
racetrack. Oh my god.
I think though, yeah, like I said before, I think there's even a chance Dubas can be fired in the future if this continues. He built this team. I
To
mean,
be honest, I'm gonna say he's still inexperienced.
I really like.
If he,
I think he's an idiot
from what I'm
sometimes.
saying, like, if he could have gotten more years under Lamoriello,
Lamoriello
yeah.
was the better GM, I'd say.
but I'm saying like because since he's older and it's kind of like a mentorship kind of thing.
Yeah.
If he would have been mentored by Lamoriello a little bit more, then he would have made it like, you know.
I mean, Lamoriello has a different management style than him. Obviously, Lamoriello is a very old school guy.
Right.
Dubas is young. He has a different approach towards things, I bet. So there's that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going to go on with.
And not only that, he's more familiar with the Marie guys. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, there's that. I mean, even going back to like Montreal, like I really think a coaching change is going to happen if things don't turn around. I mean, they're playing. I mean, and the thing is too, I've seen people say like, "Oh, rebuild, trade everybody but Suzuki and Caulfield." But it's a good team on paper. I don't want to give up on them just yet. It's just a bad start. A lot of new players on this team. For anyone that's watching too, if you could agree. If you don't, that's fine. But I think it's too good of a team on paper to really write off just yet. I've said this before. The St. Louis Blues were in last place in January.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
January of 2019, they were in last place, and
then
they won the cup.
Came.
Yeah, and they won the cup, and they made a coaching change, and they won the cup. So I mean, I'm not saying Montreal's going to win the cup this year, but I mean, like, anything's possible, right? So.
And can I say Toronto still has 3 picks?
That's another thing. They don't have many draft picks coming into the next couple of years for the draft. So the Leafs the Leafs have to start.
They got 3 picks, and then they got 6
bad.
for next year, and then they got all of their draft pick year after that.
Yeah, the next 2 years, like that's what I mean. They have to make the playoffs because, my God, if they miss the playoffs this year with only 3 picks, like they're gonna be fucked. Like they're gonna be totally fucked. Unless they start trading guys at the deadline, if they're already out of it by then, but who knows? I'm telling you, the Leafs too, a team like that, a team with that many stars shouldn't be struggling,
Yeah. Didn't I say that the Leafs might not make it to the playoff one time?
You did say that when I think Dale was on the show. I think you did say that. Not gonna lie, I think I remember you saying that. It could happen. Hey, your prediction could be right. I personally think, again, they're just too good of a team to be struggling like that, but who knows?
It could be like rust, maybe. Like,
yeah, just a lot of, again, they get let go of a lot of guys too. Like a lot of players from last year aren't there, and a lot of important players like Hyman's not there.
One of them is probably because of COVID. Because I know Bogosian doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, he went back to Tampa.
Yeah.
I mean, probably.
But yeah, he left because it's too much of a restriction.
I mean, a lot of players were apparently not too fond of signing a Canadian teams this year because of that, because of the fucking COVID restrictions. They're like, and then they go south of the border and there's no restrictions. And they're like, it's a no-brainer, right? So, so
especially a no-tax state like Florida.
Yeah, Florida's awesome. I'd love to live there.
I
nice
heard
and
from
warm.
I remember people are saying Florida is like retirement home for NHL.
Yeah, a lot of old people live there too, so it's like a retirement area for a lot of Canadians live in Florida. They retire and then they move down there. So
Jumbo Joe.
yeah, seriously, he's gonna retire soon. I think he's Florida Panthers, man, 7-0 so far.
I did not expect them to be in the top.
I expected it actually. They're a good team, man.
No, you know what? I didn't expect Buffalo to be in the top 3.
Is Buffalo still up there?
I believe so. I'm not sure. If they
Let me
are,
check this shit out. That's fucking nuts. I can't believe they started off 3-0. I do remember that. They were like 3-0, and then I was like, how the hell is Buffalo 3-0? Like that's nuts.
yeah,
So,
they're third in the Atlantic right now.
still pretty good. It's pretty fucking good, man. Never mind. Oh yeah.
But yeah, but in Buffalo's fashion, maybe it could be dropping off. But no.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's happening with Eichel. I mean, I keep hearing like we keep getting excited. We hear Eichel trade rumors and shit like that, and nothing ever
happens.
comes. Nothing happens, and people are just like, okay, this is getting fucking ridiculous now because this has been going on since the summer, and then like all the insiders are like, oh, he's going here. There's a chance he's going here. All these teams are talking to Buffalo about trading for him, and then it just never works out.
By the way, guess which second in the Atlantic?
Boston.
Boston is third
Oh,
last.
Tampa and Florida, right? They're at top.
Nope.
Or
For
Detroit.
right now, it's Florida, Red Wings, Sabres.
Yeah, fuck, that's right. Detroit's good too. Detroit's been playing really good.
And
That's a surpriser.
And then it's Maple Leafs, Lightning, Bruins,
Senators and then Montreal.
and then Canadians.
Yeah. Yeah. Montreal has to turn it around. We'll see. I watched the game the other night against
Only 2 points.
Seattle. Yeah, they're really bad. They're really fucking bad. I mean, I watched the game Tuesday night. Was it Tuesday? Yeah, against Seattle.
Oh yeah.
Good first period.
Was it the home opener?
It was. Yeah, it was. No, it wasn't the home opener. It was their first win, I think, in like their franchise history.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they got shit on Montreal. It was they played terrible. I turned it off like in the third period. I was like, I'm not fucking watching this. Yeah, what a shit show. Anyways, I think we're gonna wrap this up here, Jacob. I think it's a good episode. We got to talk.
On, but
we got to discuss some good stuff and talk about the big smoke bomb in the NHL.
Are we gonna have an episode on Sunday or what?
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we could probably try and do that. We'll see what. Again, my life's been super busy right now, so
I can tell.
Yeah, it's been crazy. So, anyways, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for joining us.
Our socials in the description as well. If Adrian can try and figure out how to do that.
Yeah. It says I'll message you after. All right. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for coming along.